So what your angels and ancestors want you to know today? Okay, so the card that's sticking out to me the most right now is that you're on the right path. Okay, everything is in divine timing. The first card to come out was boundaries. So this is the past. It's sideways, which makes me feel like you're still learning boundaries. It might have something to do with a friend, because that's what the card, when I cut that deck, that's the card that came out, and underneath that's love. So again, it doesn't have to be a friend. I did get the Hierophant upside down when I cut that deck, and it did lead me to believe that maybe you've received some bad advice from a friend, and if it's not a friend, you know, somebody that was supposed to be acting in good faith, something like this, and possibly comes across as warm. Okay, and you could be healing from this. But the angels are with you on this transition, and Spirit wants you to know that your wishes are coming true. And I'm being brought here that you deserve better than them. So if it, again, it doesn't have to be a friend. It could be, we've got true love out here. So it could be a soulmate that you considered a friend. But when I cut this deck, we've got higher power. So I think your part of your wishes coming true and being on the right path is working with your higher power and finding peace if you haven't already found it, or, you know, keep trying to cultivate this peace. Because I had another wish card that came out in a different deck, so that's 2 wish cards, and I believe your wish is peace, and your adventure is going to be peaceful. Possibly not every single moment, but overall. And maybe you're still coming out of this energy here where it was either bad advice or just, you know, people not acting in the best faith that they could have done, you know, like on reflection, perhaps they weren't the best or something like that. You have let go of an energy. This feels quite separate, that was toxic in nature to your energy, at least. And I believe that the spark fizzled out because the spark card is upside down. I believe their wealth has been impacted. It doesn't have to be money, but it's upside down. And I have a feeling that they have addictions in a sexual nature, but it doesn't have to be. But this could have very well been what got in the way. So the energies, there's a few energies going on here. So it feels like 4 energies going on, and we got the faith card for you. So quite a few helpful cards in terms of and we've got divine feminine under that. So quite a few higher power type cards. You've got God is here down here, spiritual counsel, higher power, and the angels are helping you with this transition. So just remind yourself you are on the right path if you do find yourself dipping into this toxic energy that you've possibly put a boundary up with, but there's the boundaries sideways. So it still makes me feel like you're working on boundaries. Maybe you've set boundaries up in places and you've still got other places to set them up, maybe with a friend that comes across quite warm, but overall maybe it's not that great for your mental health or something. Maybe they're not particularly reliable, but let's see. But you're focusing on self-love, and Spirit's asking you to do that in a peaceful way. So be gentle with yourself, you know, like I don't know, I'm just feeling like just be gentle with yourself, you know, like that you're not going to feel peaceful every moment. But in your after right path, we've got true love, romance, and charisma. So I do think you're heading towards this, or you're already in this. This is what's coming, and it might be part of your wish coming true, but I wouldn't want to lean too much emphasis there, because I believe your own self-love, the adventure to love yourself, the wish to cultivate your own peace, is your wish is coming true, and then anything else on top of that is like a dessert. You don't need it. It's like a nice added thing, because I think when you put your all your faith and I don't know what all your faith or all the goodness that you feel in someone else, it's a recipe for disaster, really, because you need to cultivate that yourself. So before you step into these situations, it's not a case of like, oh well, my love for myself must be 10 out of 10, otherwise I don't deserve romance and true love. I'm not saying that. It's just to create a good foundation for yourself, so you're not looking for the other to fill you up. Maybe that's why the Hierophant's upside down, because that can mean relationships, and that goes for friends. So they should be the dessert, they shouldn't be your main meal. You create your main meal with the divine, with God, with higher power, your self-love. You create that. Anything else is just a dessert. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, so you do I do believe it's this energy that's in your energy, and they feel like they can't breathe. So if you've been struggling with things recently, you could very well be tapping into their energy. So this person possibly has abandonment issues, because I just saw that flash. Anything else, Spirit, for the highest good of all, in God's will? But I keep being brought back here to faith. So just keep your faith. Replace all fear with faith. I know sometimes words are much easier. You know, it's easier said than done. But, you know, do your best. And at the very least, just stick to peace. And again, like I said, that doesn't mean that you have to feel peaceful all the time. You know, or get angry with yourself the moment you feel like you're not peaceful. But a willingness to experience peace. Okay, so you've let go of a trauma bond with somebody that could have been in a cult. And again, not everyone's in a cult, so it could very well be just some sort of organisation, some sort of group, even some type of family. But the trauma bonds card is upside down, because I believe you put boundaries up with this, but I do think it's sideways, because they could still get in. They could still get in, okay? This person's very jealous about what you're doing. I think they feel like you've got somebody else in your energy. They might feel like you found a true love or a true match. They are wanting to reach out. They're getting to a point now where they feel like they have to. I'm being brought here to draw a circle of protection around you, of light, that could help you, and ask your divine angels and ancestors to help you do that, if you so wish, of course. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. Their third party's over. Okay, so now they're thinking about you, like, what are you doing? And I think they're worried that they know you're on your right path. I think this person might have kept you hidden, and you don't want to be hidden, and that can be all sorts of things. It doesn't mean like they never brought you out, but they kept their emotions hidden for you. They put other things ahead of you, so you felt tucked away. And in some cases, for some of you, it was perhaps like a secret relationship, or they kept secrets, but just put that where that fits. So yeah, this person's worried that you've already stepped into this true love and romance where you both find each other charismatic, and you may have well done. You may have well done, but don't be surprised if this person comes in, since your boundaries aren't completely up here. It's come out sideways. I think it was the only one that did. Yes, it was. That they don't come in telling you that you deserve better than this person and things like that. But you just put that where that fits. Yeah, because this person's realised too late what you mean to them. Yeah, they're possibly breadcrumbing you. Possibly the friends are as well, so just be mindful of that. If you've started to like establish boundaries, you understand what boundaries are now, whereas before you weren't really thinking, and you know it wasn't that I was going to say your self-love wasn't strong enough. I don't know if that's the case. You've started to understand what self-love really looks like, and you know that's for things to be equal and fair and good faith and stuff like that, and not always having to give someone the benefit of the doubt. And I think maybe you thought that was love. Yeah, so this person wants a new beginning with you, but they know that it's possible, you know, that there's a big chance that you're not interested in a new beginning with them. That's why it's slid out over there sideways. But just be mindful they don't then try to come in as a friend. Well, I mean, yeah, it's up to you. Yeah, I do think if you were to accept this person in, the angels are going to find it harder to help you, just because they're dealing with this sort of toxic energy, that's toxic to your vibration at least. It's not that the angels don't want to help you, it will just be harder for them to get in. And I feel like the angels and your ancestors and the divine have stepped in. That's why we've got divine timing here. They were able to step in once you set these boundaries, and your wishes of a peaceful adventure are coming through, and you are on the right path. You are going to be heading towards this true love, romance and charisma. And who knows, like, when I said true love, then maybe it's, you're learning to truly love yourself. But I just feel like it's going to be harder for the angels to work with you. I just saw wizard there, because I think this person possibly, obviously not for all of you, but they could, even if it's not magic, their mental space is of a darker nature than yours. Yeah, because they have severe abandonment issues. But you've got this. You don't need to worry about. Don't put too much heat on that situation, like worrying, like, oh my God, are they doing this and that? The best thing you could do was stay in a love vibration for yourself, for the divine, and nothing can touch you. Yeah, I do think you had some energies that weren't acting in good faith, but I'm also hearing that they're quite weak. Violet fire's been coming out a lot. So that circle that came out, do imagine a circle of violet fire around you if you feel like you need to. Because the energy I'm feeling off this person, I wouldn't put it past them to do magic on you to get what they want out of you. For some of you, maybe they already have been doing that. But I don't want to go down that path too much, because the worst thing you could do is give it loads of energy and lots of negative thought and worry. That enhances it. That almost makes it, cements it, and we don't, you don't want to do that. You've got a lot of divine cards out here, and again, it doesn't even have to be. They could simply just have like a sort of negative mind frame, and they're thinking about you a lot. Don't listen to the haters as sideways. So it makes me feel like you're still maybe regurgitating some old noise from people that were insecure, and or if this does come back, this does circle back into your life somehow, Spirit's asking you not to listen to it. And I think it's sideways because you still have a chance of listening to this. But just know that Spirit is with you, okay? And trust is upside down here, because Spirit doesn't want you to trust this energy. People that got to go around spewing hate and vomiting it up emotionally on other people, it's their own vomit. Do you see what I mean? It's not, I don't know, it doesn't belong to you. And maybe see it like that. It's like emotional vomit, that it's theirs. You didn't make it, and nor do you want it. So with those energies, most definitely you set boundaries with. It says you're an angel in my eyes, and I genuinely believe that's this energy over here. Just be careful about them coming in. I don't know, just trying to sweet talk you. I don't know if you're susceptible to, if they don't want to be toxic anymore. This person's going to come in saying all the right things now that you've stepped into your divine feminine energy. Tell me more about that, please, Spirit. I'm marrying you. It's the only one that flashed up. Sex magic. I was feeling that. But again, it doesn't have to be. Yeah, relax. So don't give this too much energy. For like, oh my God, like, I have been thinking about them more lately. Maybe I was under a spell or something like this. Don't relax today. So just call on your angels and ancestors and create this circle of violet fire if you so wish. Obviously it's a general reading, so it's not for everybody. This person is seeking help for their stuff, or at least it's in their mind that they probably need to. What does that say? Yeah, so you've exited the 3D matrix, but I think you've also exited this. But if you do encounter difficult energy because this person's in your energy field, and I think it's on the side like this because it really is it's on the outskirts of your energy. Just do your best to relax. Just be gentle. You know, like if things are coming up and they're very difficult, it will move. You know, don't lock onto it and believe it's going to be like that forever. It won't. It will move. Perhaps this person gave you a lot of hate. You know, like there was a lot of hateful energy. And these people are essentially scared of your intuition, and possibly your psychic and things like that. There's quite a lot of cards here, but I'm tempted. Yeah, so I think this person can impact your vibration. So be aware of that. But then don't feel bad about it. You know, like, oh, I'm not strong enough. My vibration feels a bit lower today. You know, people do have low days and difficult days and bad days. It's not the whole story. So, you know, if that is going on, because essentially this person is missing you terribly and possibly doing other things. So, of course, it's going to impact you. And they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to grow. Okay, so if you've got somebody like that in your energy, we've got Earth out here. So you could do with some grounding, or you could be an Earth sign, or they could be an Earth sign, but star signs aren't particularly important. Messages for the collective spirit and God's will. Yeah, so the energy doesn't feel great. And if somebody's in your energy field and they're not working with the best vibration, yeah, and they don't want you to release them, it could have impact. I'm not saying it's definitely have an impact. You know, I'm you know, I'm channeling, and it's a general message. It says change your tune, and it's upside down. So I don't think Spirit does want you to change your tune. Your tune's fine, okay? I think you changed your tune by letting this stuff go, but your tune could be impacted because you have these energies still in your energy field a little bit. And I'm being brought here, like, just be aware of people pretending to, I don't know if it's pretending to be warm, but don't be fooled by warmth or something. I mean, everybody wants, you know, warm is nice, you know, it's nicer than being cold and calculated. But I don't know, let's see where it goes. I just think because it's next to the Hierophant card upside down, it makes me feel like somebody could be warm, but they're not acting in good faith, really. Yeah, that could be the past. That's maybe something you've set boundaries with already, but to just keep remembering it. Seek healing's upside down, so that makes me feel like you've done a lot of your healing already. You've healed a lot of this. I mean, do you never seek healing ever again? Like, no, you know, everyone, healing's it's a life journey. But I'm led to say all you need to do is relax. You don't need to, and slow it down. You've done the bulk of the work already, but maybe you just got a bit of residual energy going on. Maybe that's why the grounding's out here and the circle of light, violet fire. But your wishes are coming true. The divine is with you. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that self-regulation. Maybe that... Yeah, so just when you know, everyone needs to regulate themselves, and you're possibly around people that were using you to regulate themselves, you know, by being bad advice, or, you know, not acting in good faith, competitive, comparative, something like that, breadcrumbing. And now you're learning to find your own self-regulation, or you have done since the healing card was upside down, but you're still new at it. I'm just getting it, like you've just learned to drive, so you're still cautious, you know, that the kind of energy, and you need to be because you've just started. But to do this with love and slow it down, you know, like, don't go 60 miles an hour yet. Go slowly, go on the gentle roads that aren't so busy. I don't know, it's got me through. Messages for the collective, please, Spirit, and God's will to help the collective with their journey. So just relax, choose peace, grace, be kind to yourself. You've done the bulk of your healing. Yes, you might have to do a bit of self-regulation, but whoever I'm tapping into, isn't a narcissist, but I think you were around people that had narcissistic tendencies who are using you to regulate themselves by throwing this vomiting, this hateful vomit on top of you. Sorry about the analogies, I have to go where I'm led. And you've seen through it now. Perhaps they had some warmth about them, and you looked at that and the heart of them and just excused the middle bit, which was that you were being let down. You're being offered something that's not particularly fruitful, for your vibration at least. And I just saw divine feminine flash out. So I think they would get in the way of your peaceful, relaxing adventure. Cupid's arrow. Yeah, love is coming, and this is under true love and charisma, and there was another one, romance. If this person, when this new person, I mean, it's up to you. You might decide to take this person back and, you know, truly love them. But for those of you who are going to choose a new person, I'm tempted to tell you to slow it down. Don't go 60 miles an hour with them either. Maybe you'll find them quite regulating for yourself, and, you know, you'll just want more and more and more of it. But I think Spirit's saying, you know, go slowly. Go slowly. And also, you don't need them. You are your own main meal, and your starter and your drink, they would simply be a dessert, which, nice, but not necessary. Something like that. Messages for the collective, please, Spirit. Yeah, so this person wishes they treated you better, possibly not hiding you or hiding their emotions. Yeah, I think whatever you're stepping into is going to feel like a bit of a fantasy. Like, maybe you're going to feel like it's too good to be true. So maybe that's why you're being asked to slow it down, because I don't believe it is going to be too good to be true, because I don't think the true love card would pop out like that. But just be mindful that you don't need them for your healing. It's something like, I think you're going to feel like you need them when you don't. Okay, so this person's going to be attracted to you and, you know, make it known. They're not going to play some sort of narcissistic games to regulate themselves. They're above that. Gosh, I did feel to say that this person is wanting to get into that energy. So you might have a choice. But yeah, this person's not going to be scared of intimacy. And I think you're going to find it quite healing. Because you have been in energies where you've more or less felt like you were drowning. And this person's going to come through with less fear-based energy, and you're going to feel like it's I've heard knock you for 6, like you're going to be surprised by it, but just, I don't know, just remember it's a dessert. You don't need a dessert. I did just see soulmates flash out, so you could be leaving a karmic situation to move into a situation with a soulmate here, but again, put it where it fits. Yeah, I think you're going to struggle, because this person's going to come back at some point when you've met this person, or before or after, you know, put it where it fits. But this person's going to come in strong when your energy's truly shifted and that boundary card is upright, because that boundary card in different decks is not ever coming out upright at the moment, which makes me feel like you've still got a bit of work to do there. I'm being tempted to say that maybe you're attracted to a little bit of arrogance. So although this person might be a dream come true and be healing and give you something that isn't fearful, there's maybe something in your past or trauma that might be almost more attracted to this, even though logically it doesn't make sense. So to be mindful of that. And them coming in quite strong, wanting to make it right and wanting to turn a corner and recognising their wrongs. Just be mindful of that. And just sort of focus. So yeah, there was nothing simple about that situation that you had with that person or people. It was very complicated. This is going to feel like a smooth, clean path, like a beautiful meadow path, and it's going to feel weird compared to what you've had to go through, which was possibly people that were resisting you in some way, and then finally to meet somebody that's healed and isn't up for playing games and doesn't want to resist what they're feeling. I think it might feel weird to you. Yeah, so you've escaped this situation, and spirit helped you escape it. Don't forget that. Okay, they gave you the strength and the tools to step into your right path and believe in divine timing. And it was because this person was childish, or they had a child on you, or something of that. But now this person is going to become the chaser. And I do think for some of you, you're going to find that quite difficult, even if you logically see it as a no-go. You know, like, why would you? I think you had a strong amount of love for them. And again, if it was a twin flame or high-level soulmates, you know, of course. Yeah, I think you're going to be at a crossroads. Even if you hadn't met this person yet, you're going to still be either or. Even when you've met them and you're in some kind of connection with them, and even when you haven't, you're still going to find it quite, is it alluring that they could have changed? But this person's balancing things, and they've got many options. So this, whatever they say, they're still not in the right I think this was your twin flame, Four of Wands. And they're just discontent and bored with their options. So just be mindful, because you've ended this conflict. But I do feel like they, even if consciously they want to do the right thing, you know, like they recognize your worth, they see where they went wrong, you know, they want to settle down, let's say, if that was something you were after, they will end up being discontent and bored because they haven't done the healing. They're looking for desserts all the time as their main meal, and you know, they're becoming unhealthy because of it. And if things aren't a dessert anymore, they look for other desserts. Messages for the collective, please, spirits. But their desserts aren't like they've had the main meal, they only want dessert. Is the energy I'm getting. That's why they'll end up in a sort of discontent, bored feeling, which will then knock onto yourself, where you'd have to regulate yourself more, and the angels won't be as close to you because you've had this energy come in. I don't know if not being close to you is the right word, but it's like it'd be harder for them to penetrate the situation. Not impossible, because obviously they're angels, but so Spirit just wants you to carry on focusing on whatever your talent is, or whatever you enjoy working on, when you can, to step out of any kind of worry or fear, and maybe work on learning how to relax, since you've got 2 relaxed cards out there. Learning how to feel peace, that you stay in the moment, and things like this. If it feels like a bit of a jump to, you know, start working on your talents, or maybe you need a break from working on things, since it says relax twice. Yeah, so don't forget that this person, and maybe even this friend, they're unreliable. Yes, they might want to make it right, but it doesn't mean that they will. They have the right foresight about the situation, which they were lacking. And I think it's intimacy is what these people are lacking. So, you know, they're scared to be vulnerable, and they vomit all their shadow on other people, which has essentially made you stronger. But do you want to just have to keep learning to be stronger and stronger and stronger, when you can actually let your guard down, relax, find, you know, cultivate this inner peace, which it looks like you've done a fair amount of already, and actually meet someone who's peaceful, who wants to add to your healing, rather than someone who's prideful, unreliable, in and out, potentially gets bored very quickly, you know, like it's... yeah, 7 of Swords. They're deceptive in nature. So don't you then be deceptive to yourself, sort of believing that this person has the ingredients to give you what you need, in this energy at least, because you're still healing. I think for the most part you've done most of it. I'm thinking like 80-90%, but there's still some residual. That's why the boundaries card is sideways, because there's still a little gap for them to sliver through and chase you. And Spirit wants you to be aware of that. You have moved on. You have done the bulk of this, but yeah. Yeah, this person isn't very nice. I mean, nice is a bit of a gift wrap anyway, but they don't care about being good person or something like that. Or it's not the top of their list, let's say. Maybe liking things to appear good and being brought to a friend. So I do think we've got some different energies going on. Oh, I better stop. I could go on forever. And I just did see the devil card flash there. So yeah, there's a devil card. That's why it was flashing. Yeah, you've moved on from this toxic energy. But the boundary card is sideways. And they're going to come in with some kind of gesture. But you've broken up from this and moved on. You don't have a cup of love for them, and they're in heartbreak and feel like they're out in the cold, and they're in the memory of you. But what was hidden has become illuminated to you. And they delayed you, essentially, and they could very well delay whatever this is, this true love, romance energy. And essentially this person is just attracted to your energy because they can't have your energy now. Something like that. Yeah, they're a King of Wands upside down, so good for nothing, really. And if I dare say it does feel a bit like they want to get you back just to know that they could get you back. They're working with lower energies, like lower ego energies. And you've come out of this Nine of Swords energy, and Spirit's letting you know you could very well end up back in there, and this person wouldn't care. They wouldn't. Because they like conflict, you know, like their job would be done in some ways, which, you know, it's not very nice. Call on Archangel Michael to help you if you need to. Yeah, so I think I'll leave that there. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Archangel Michael, please be with me and the collective, and please protect us. So mote it be.